Hey everybody, and welcome back. So today is going to be another review of a different product that I picked up during Black Friday and that I've been kind of dabbling in and playing around with to give you a review on here, because these are it's a fairly newer company and it is based in Canada, but hopefully, their products are decently popular. I've heard a couple bigger people on here talking about them. Sorry, I don't know why I'm sitting here with the blush doing that. My bad. So hopefully the brand continues to grow, so that way they can get distribution centers outside of Canada, so that way it's more accessible to everybody else, because unfortunately shipping is about as much as a brush is, which is a little bit disappointing. I understand small businesses, there's probably not much that they can do about that. But I'm really hoping that they're able to come to like PhemExpo in LA or something like that. I know that they went to IMATS last year in New York, but obviously I'm on the opposite end of the US as New York, so I would need to make a separate trip in order to be able to go there. I really like this brush in my hand, which is why I keep playing with it. I probably should stop. So again, wow, I need to introduce it in the first place. I'm going to be talking about Smith brushes today. So this is the only thing that Smith carries. It's called Smith Cosmetics, but it only has brushes, probably just for now since it's a new company. So I have 7 of their brushes. I believe there is 27 or 28 brushes. No, I lied. There's 18. I'm pretty sure there is only 18 brushes as of right now. But I'm going to show you the 7 that I have. There are about like 4 or 5 more that I would like to pick up, but I'm just really hoping they come so I don't have to pay that extra for shipping and I can still get the brushes. But jumping right into it, I'm going to talk about the actual brushes themselves. One thing I really like about the handle here, is it's very, very lightweight. I feel like if anything, most of the weight is down here, especially because this is a brush that is bigger and there's more hairs inside here, but this the part at the end is so, it's very, I don't know, I actually really like the way that it's so light while you're using it. I feel like it gives you more, you can move it a little bit easier in my opinion, versus having something that's heavier down here. You would put more force into getting the movements to be how you want it to be. So I really have been enjoying that. And this, by the way, is the Smith 115. This is their foundation brush, which I know that the shape is probably a little bit strange for a traditional foundation brush, but what I heard is that basically you lay the foundation on with the sides. So you go in like this, and then once you have it laid down, you blend it with the tip, which is more fluffy and dense, to get it blended out well. I will say that this one, I actually really like it. Sometimes I have an issue with like using brushes or anything to put on my foundation because I feel like it soaks up my product. And since LC Cosmetics, their foundation goes out of stock so quickly, I really try to make the most of my foundation. But this is really, really good. I feel like it blends it very seamlessly. In my opinion, it gives kind of like medium coverage. I know how some products that you apply will take a lot of the product and you'll get like sheer coverage. This, to me, I still get like about a medium coverage when I use this brush, but it's really, really dense. There's no like obvious holes or anything in it, and it is pretty soft. Really like that one. And then I'm gonna talk about this one because it's like, which one is it? Because this one is probably my favorite out of the ones that I have right now, which is kind of shocking because when I got it in the mail, obviously when you're buying online, it's never going to be like 100% accurate as when you see it in person. So with this one, when I got it, I was kind of disappointed because I thought it was going to be a little bit more full and fluffy. But surprisingly, I actually really like it. And this is the Smith 247 brush. This is really nice and curved here at the top. And then it's kind of like a rectangle, so it's very straight on the sides, and it's decently flat if you're looking at it head on, but I feel like it lays product down in this outer corner area so perfectly. It might just be the shapes that I use when I'm putting on my eyeshadow, but I feel like it blends beautifully and it just lays it down perfectly, versus a normal traditional fluffy brush. It's gonna just blend it out however you need the shadows blended out. But this is good for blending as well as placement, and it's a good sized brush, so you can, I feel like this is probably could very well be a very multitasking type of brush. I haven't noticed very much shedding. I need to definitely look and see if that's something that other people have had a problem with, because I haven't so far yet. But I really like that one. And then the next one that's similar in shape is the 230. This one is more of a traditional dome-shaped brush. So instead of being straight on the sides like the 247 is, I'll put them side by side here. So this is straight on the sides, it goes all the way up. And then this one right here, it goes a little bit and it's tapered like a dome. So this one is a traditional smaller blending brush. It is very fluffy. When you're looking at it, it is a dome round tip. And this is really good for precise blending, like in that crease. It's not going to be good for a transition color, at least in my experience, when I've used it, because it's not big enough to where it'll disperse the color in the way that I like. But I really like it for precision blending, because it's going to get, like if you wanted to do maybe a softer cut crease, I feel like this would be a really good brush to use. Again, it's the 230. There is, I like to call these the white brushes in my mind. I think there's like 5 of them where they're all very similar but different shapes and different sizes. So I think that there's 2 or 3 more like this that I want to pick up, because I want to see the differences, especially since I thought these were going to be a little bit bigger. So I want to pick up the other ones just so I have some more comparisons between the two. And then another one I really enjoy is the Smith 256. They have another brush that is identical to this, but it is a smaller version, but it's that arrowhead shape. I love this. Would be great as well for cut crease too, because if you can see, it just kind of like lays down the product. It's a hand I can't even talk today. This is ridiculous. Since it has the pointed tip, you can basically go in this inner corner in here and get the product in there precisely. And since it's pointed and then flat on this side, you basically can go in and round it out perfectly. And it lays down the product so nicely. It's pretty flat, but I can definitely see this being good as well as a small one, because if you just want to lay down, let's say in the inner corner, the smaller one with the same shape will be able to get you in there more precise just in there, versus this one, if you want to cover more surface area with less product and less time, you just put this in there and then you can go right on and get it throughout the entire lid area. But this just blends so nicely. This is such a soft brush. None of these are itchy on the eye, which I feel like is a huge thing. And once again, since the handle is so light and almost hollow feeling, it's really easy to just get in there, work and do what you need to get done. Next brush is the 212, which is a very tiny flat definer brush. This is itty bitty, like I'll put it up to like my pinky. It's shorter than the width of my pinky, and I have a very tiny pinky. It's great for getting underneath that lower lash line and placing product before you blend it out, versus having that traditional big one. You really only have so much. Let's just say you didn't want to add that color in through the entire lower lash line. If you have a traditional one, it's kind of hard. You have to like angle it differently. Don't put the entire brush surface on your eye. But with this one, since it's so small, you have more options of how to place and then how much you're placing as well. So this is a really good little flat. I imagine some people might even be able to do liner with this. I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but maybe gel liner, who knows. And the next brush is the Smith 304. This is technically one of their lip brushes. It is the rounded tip one. So it's very tiny. I have not used this for lips, but I actually do like this because I have a couple other brushes that are shaped like this for placing that inner corner highlight. I don't know, I like the shape of that for this. But I've heard really good things about this being good for the lips, so I definitely need to put a liquid lipstick to pull out a liquid lipstick. Try it with this to get the very crisp and precise edges. They have another one lip brush that's more of an angle, which sounds interesting as well. And then lastly is the Smith 214. And what is this crazy thing I was flipping around in the intro? It's basically a very unique eyebrow brush. So instead of the traditional eyebrow brushes where it's straight and it'll come out and the entire product is straight here, and you're just basically angling it with your hand. This is like a bent liner brush, except for it's a bent brow brush. You basically can get in there without having to have your product be all the way up here while you're doing it. You can just, I've heard really good things about this one as well. I do like it. I feel like it's very, because like some brow brushes are a little bit more flexible, if you will, I suppose. So I feel like it doesn't really get my brow hairs up and hold them tight enough. That sounds strange, but I look for that. And this one, it is a more dense bristle. So it just goes in there and hugs it perfectly, especially in this little front area if you want it to get it to stand up. This is great for that. I really enjoy. Something about this shape is just, it's nice. It just works well. You just do this all day long. Like I said, if they come to PhemExpo, I'll definitely probably talk about them in a favorites or something. There are, like I said, 4 or 5 more brushes that I want to pick up. But so far, out of those brushes, really high quality. They don't itch your eye. The handle is very, very lightweight, if that bothers anybody from other brands being too heavy. The products are very dense, and there's the perfect amount of bristles in each one. And they all are unique in shape, to where if you see these brushes, you're going to know that they're from Smith, because they're so innovative, and they made their own shapes. I feel like that's key to distinguishing yourself from other brands, especially since there's so many new and upcoming brush brands. These are really unique shapes, and I appreciate that, because you can definitely tell that with each one there was a purpose in each shape, and how much hair is in each one, and the handle that goes behind it. I mean, I wish, like listening to, I think it was Samantha talk about going to meet the founders of this company, and there's like a story for each brush. I think that's fascinating. I would love to sit there with them and be like, okay, what's the story behind this one? Like, how did this come to be? Like, what story just kind of was like, you know what, I need this. We need a brush that's not out there that looks like this. That kind of stuff is the stuff that's so interesting to me, that product knowledge, like the thought behind the product, what's going into the product, why it's going there. So without babbling on any more about that, overall I really, really enjoy this. I purchased all these by myself. Obviously, nobody's sponsoring me, let's be real. So these are, I feel like they're on the medium range price-wise of brushes. So if they do come to a trade show near you, I would definitely say go in, pick 1 or 2 that look interesting to you. I highly would recommend 256, so the arrowhead shaped one, and then the 247. Yep, 247. These two I would highly recommend. Really, really unique shapes that I love. Alrighty, so that is all for this edition of another product review. So I hope you enjoyed, learned something new. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll be seeing you very soon for my next video. Bye!